Good morning, good morning. And if anybody knows me, I like to start my meetings on time, but we also know that we have residents that may still be coming in. It is a cold, cold, cold morning.
Amen. Amen.
So we know that we may have lost some folks due to the cold and the inclement weather that will be coming through. But the good thing about all this, I see some of my dear friends that have been working here and working with us on this project. So I welcome you, and I welcome all of our neighbors from Suitland to this meeting this morning. And so what I would ask you to do is to begin to introduce yourselves to the person sitting next to you. I know this is not church, but just introduce so that you'll get to know your neighbors if you don't know them already. We are excited. We are excited about this project, and so for many of you, you've been to these meetings before, or we've come out to your location to make sure that you were well informed in what we were planning for the Suitland area. So I know you didn't come here just to hear from me, but it's very important that I introduce to you who I work for and who I'm moving this initiative for. So I'm here to tell you that I am excited that Chairman Barnes from the Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission, Prince George's County Planning Department, has come out to join us this evening, and he is the wind beneath our sail. Chairman Barnes.
How's everybody doing? It is a great day in Prince George's County. Can we say great day?
Great day.
Listen, I am excited about this project. This project has been in the midst for roughly 14 months. Way too long. We got to speed it up. We got to make something happen. And I think right now, we're in a good position to make something happen. I'm excited. I think those that have been involved in this process for the last 14 months, Vanessa said this is a church, but you might want to get up and do a Holy Ghost dance and run around the room. Simply because the stars and the moons are starting to line up, that we're finally making some progress to make all this stuff happen. And it is a testament of all the hard work that you all have been doing, your ideas, your suggestions, your feedback, your commentary, all of those things that we have been paying attention to, all of those things we have noted, and all of those things now we have brought our partners together to say, we got to make this happen in Suitland. We've had great conversations with Senator Nick Charles, with Delegate Karen Tolles, Delegate Ken Robeson, and Delegate Denise Roberts. And we shared our idea, we presented our plan to them, that they are also equally excited to say, how can we help? I said, great, I'm glad you asked me. So part of the help that we need is the financial help. The financial help is the biggest thing that's going to get this project over the hurdle, right? All the concepts, all the ideas, all the planning, all of that stuff has already been done. What we need right now is money. So what we are working on right now is getting the money from the Maryland General Assembly this legislative session. I am having conversations with the right people to make sure that we bring back a win this legislative session to get this project complete. That's, I believe, requires a Holy Ghost dance. Simply because session is in January, it ends in April 13th. I've already told my folks that we're going to have a party, and all of you all are welcome. Simply because this will be our opportunity that we have endured all the pain and the anguish in all these community meetings to talk about this. Our consultants have flew around the world to be a part of this conversation to say, how can we be helpful? So this is where we are. I want to thank a couple of people. First, I got to thank my partner in crime, Darius A. Stanton, who is the Director for Parks and Recreation, because they're playing a major role in all this to ensure that there are walking trails that's centered around this project and I think you guys are going to love it. I got to thank the Revenue Authority, Judy Danzo, who is not here, but she is a dear friend of mine that I know the Revenue Authority is all in. They've committed. They rolled up their sleeves, and they said, how can I help? The Redevelopment Authority, you guys are going to hear from a dynamic guy who is now the new executive director for the Redevelopment Authority, who has come in the door, kicked the door in, and said, I want to be a part of this Suitland project because I have some great ideas myself. I want to implement my time, my energy, but more importantly, I'm asking him for some money, right? I got to make this stuff happen. GSA, we got to make sure that at the federal level, they are still involved in what we're doing. I think we're making some great headways, and I think all of these partners are going to make stuff happen. WMATA, and I got to thank the Prince George's County Arts and Humanities Council, and last but not least, Suitland High School, right? You start thinking about all of these partners, all of this planning, all of the things that we've been doing to make this stuff happen. I'm excited. And I want everybody in this room to get excited because this is your community. This is where you live. This is where you shop, eat, and play in some cases. Now it's all coming together where we're trying to transform Prince George's County in a major way. We have a county executive, Aisha Braveboy, who said when she got elected, I want to transform Prince George's County. Prince George's County Planning Department and Parks and Recreation, we have coined the phrase that we want to make Prince George's County a destination for the nation. I'm excited. And how do we make this a destination? By doing projects like this, being creative, thinking outside of the box, but more importantly, being as bold as we possibly can be. And we need you guys' help. We need you all to help tell the story. I need you all to continue to make the phone calls to those delegates and senators and let them know that you all need this project to happen this legislative session. Do not put all the onus on us. You all have a role to play in this as well. So I need you to make the phone calls. I need you to continue to scream and shout. I need you all to continue to demand that you want change in your community. If we all work together, if we all collaborate, then dare do I say all these things are going to happen. And part of all this stuff happening is that we now have a planning director that has a bold vision, who wants to think outside of the box, who wants to take what we're doing on a national level. This guy is doing some amazing things. He's the acting planning director for Maryland National Capital Park and Planning. He is on a pathway that I'm going to help to put him on every platform that he possibly can, simply because he knows his stuff. He's passionate about Prince George's County, and dare do I say he's a friend. Please put your hands together for our planning director, Mr. James Hunt.
So what we have before us today, we have a great plan, okay? And we need your feedback right now. When it comes to, one of the things that I saw in particular was let's say the water tower, for example. We have so many things to be grateful for because we have a partnership with the school system. We have partnerships with all the various folks that the chairman mentioned earlier. This is unique. You don't see this anywhere else around the country. What I want to do, just like the chairman was talking about, I really want to take this, once we get this thing finalized, this whole plan finalized, because it's unique. I want to put this on the national stage and take this to the American Planning Association, where we've got thousands of planners from all over, not just America. We got folks from all over the world, okay? I'm putting Prince George's County on the map. So I'm going to do this. That is my plan. But I need your support when it goes to implementing this plan, okay? Working with all the different partners that we have, coordinating with the community on this. This is fantastic, okay? So I'm really looking forward to all the great work that we are going to be doing together on this plan itself, the implementation behind it. Just like the chairman was talking about, we've got everything together now. It took some time, but with all that effort that we have got everything together to be able to put things forward and get you all moving. Now we're just looking for the aspect of money. So the chairman's working through that right now. We're ready to go. Okay, so that said, I'm really excited about this work program. I will say this, I know just like everyone was talking about earlier, the concerns about the weather today. So what I've asked staff to do at the same time, because community engagement is a really big part of my heart and what I love to do. I want to make sure that we put it out to the community. And so what I want to do is have an opportunity for us to put this on our website and blast this through social media. So we're going to put it on there and allow the citizens to continue to vote on this matter and provide their comments at the same time. I appreciate, of course, everybody being here today, obviously, but I want to hear everybody, as many people within the Suitland community, all over Prince George's County, to get their feedback, their insight, because that's going to help us to make the best plan ever, okay? And again, I'm placing this on the stage. This is going to be unique, okay? No one else is doing this right now. So that said, we're going to be continuing to do that. I do want, before I step away, I want to recognize all of the various staff members that we have, not only from the planning department, but the commission as well, and everyone that we have here from our partner agencies as well. If you all could either stand or raise your hands today. Thank you all. Thank you all. I really appreciate it. So that said, I will turn it over to Mr. Layton. There we go.
Good morning. Good morning. Can everybody hear me? First, I want to thank Chairman Barnes, and thank you for the invitation to come. I'm always glad to be here with the folks in Suitland. I'm really excited about the opportunity and looking forward to partnering with all of our agencies. I want to share an update on the Town Square Suitland Federal Center, and most importantly, what it means for the community. We know this project has experienced delays, and we want to be transparent about that. Large multi-phase developments take time, especially when infrastructure, federal collaboration, and long-term community outcomes are involved. But during this period, the work is still moving forward. We are actively advancing the final design phases for the widening of Suitland Road, improving safety access and connectivity for residents. We're also moving forward with powering up the Central Park, transforming it into a true gathering place for families, events, and everyday use. In addition, we are conducting a feasibility study for a cultural arts center reflecting the community's desire for spaces that celebrate creativity, culture, and local talent. At the same time, we are working closely with our state and federal partners on Phase 4, which is slated to include multifamily housing, a hotel, office space, retail, and a parking garage, all designed to bring jobs, amenities, and long-term economic opportunity to Suitland. Town Square is about more than development. It's about delivering on a shared vision for a stronger, more connected community. And we remain committed to making that vision a reality. And Chairman, I want to say this project is personal to me. When I started my career as a young prosecutor, I was in the narcotics unit, and there was a Suitland Manor, and there was roads like Homer Avenue, and they were challenging. And then when Mr. Johnson became county executive, he appointed me general counsel to the redevelopment authority, and we knew we had to make a change. And we came in and bought 148 units and started to transform that community. And I was general counsel between 2003 and 2010. I served as deputy state's attorney for Ms. Braveboy, and when she became elected county executive, she appointed me as executive director with the charge to go back and finish the job. We're here to finish the mission. We're going to bring this thing across the goal line and make it a victory for all of Prince George's County. And we are going to make this a destination for the nation. Thank you, Chairman. Next. And I'd like to introduce our person from the Revenue Authority. Come on up.
Thank you, Perry. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Thank you for making your way out on this cold day, but I am Nicole Hall. I am the Chief Real Estate Officer for the Revenue Authority of Prince George's County. Thank you first and foremost to the Parking Planning Team, Chair Barnes, Director Hunt, thank you for your partnership. I bring you greetings from our Executive Director, Judith Danzo, who gives her sentiments for not being able to be here personally, but I can continue the torch and the charge of our partners here at the Redevelopment Authority and Parking Planning and saying we are excited to bring forth a destination and transformative development to the Suitland Town Center, as well as to the Creative Suitland redevelopment project. Suitland is a legacy community. You know, it's one of our focal areas as we move forward of how we're going to elevate Prince George's County. And how we're going to do that is getting feedback from you. We want to build a development and destination that services the community, not just now, not just 5 years from now, but for generations to come. We want this to be a destination, as Director Hunt said, that is going to be a placemaking testament that we can take around the country and internationally and make Prince George's County the threshold and local representation of what art installations, as what the creative community, as well as the county can do to elevate a community, create jobs, and increase our commercial tax base. So I'm here today to hear from you. We have 2 of our development projects in the back for Creative Suitland Art Center. That site will be redeveloped and starting construction and around this time next year. But we want to know what the community needs. What restaurants, what food, what services would you like to see in that development? In regards to Suitland Town Center, we also have 3 parcels there that we're going to be redeveloping with our partners over at the Redevelopment Authority. So we would like to understand what commercial development and retail would you like to see there? Is it healthcare? Is it childcare? Is it restaurants? What do we need here in the community to continue to elevate and provide those resources and services that you may not have enough of today? So please stop by, let's chat, let's start this engagement, and we're going to get this done together. That's the only way we're going to be able to move forward. So thank you all for your time. Thank you for your leadership, and let's get this done.
So you see, we have a charge. We're going to get this done. And you see, we have great partners, many of them who are in the room. And when I have a great chairman pushing this project and a great director who has our back to make this move, we're moving. But you know, I like to recognize my sassy seniors who come out and stuff, who have worked with us and have provided real good input to the work that we're doing. They say I call them out because they got out here in the cold and came on out to represent their group. They invite us to the meetings. And I recommend the Redevelopment Authority and the Revenue Authority go out and talk to the seniors because they have a lot to say. They meet on Thursdays and they will welcome you to come out. I want to bring up two of my staff persons and here and my colleagues. I say staff. We have staff in the back. Can you wave your hand? Who is working with us? And then I have great partners and colleagues and co-chairs working with me on this project. David Moore and Adam Dodson. So David is going to come up and talk to us about where we're going. We know you want to get out here, make sure you have that chili and soup on the stove. And so we want to make sure that you have time to do that and be ready for the weather this evening.
Thank you, Vanessa. So the word that has been thrown around this morning a lot is excited. I have 2 other words that are on my mind. Number 1, gratitude. I am just so grateful to be a part of this team, to be working with this community, to be pushing these projects forward. Sassy seniors, you've been engaged from the very beginning, but we're also working with Suitland High School students as part of this process. We're working with Suitland residents as part of this process. So I'm just eternally grateful for you all to be a part of this community-driven project, showing up every time and telling us what you want to see, what transformations you want to be a part of in this community. So gratitude. The second word is innovation. Looking around these rooms, there are a number of renderings and sketches that you all have participated in and our amazing consultant team have helped develop. So today we're going to sit through a quick presentation by our consultant team, sharing some updates on the renderings that you see around the room and also where we're headed with this strategy. So I have the extreme pleasure to welcome our consultant team, Designing Local, to take over the presentation. Give them a warm welcome.
All right. Good morning, everyone. I'm Matt Lazier. I'm a principal with Designing Local, and our firm is out of Columbus, Ohio. And we're going to let Jasmine bring the computer up here.
Yeah, Jasmine Metcalf. I'm a senior urban planner with Designing Local. I'm also on the consulting side of things, the project manager for the Suitland Cultural Arts Implementation Strategy. I do a lot of cultural planning, public art planning, and urban design when it has like kind of a cultural lean to it.
So a quick note about our firm, we're out of Columbus, Ohio. Hopefully we make it back there today, we'll see. But this is a very unique project for us. We do work all around the country. I'll say in my 20 years doing this, I've never worked with high school students to develop actual concepts. So this is very rare, and I think it's a really great case study for APA conference. So I'd love to see a presentation there.
Throughout this process, we've hosted a number of community open houses, public workshops, or charettes, which I know a few of you guys in the room have attended, and we thank you so much for coming back and staying invested in this process and continuing to push it forward, because really this work is for you guys. So a charette, it's a kind of fast-paced, iterative design process in which things like what you guys see printed over here as sketches are created alongside the community. So these sketches are a direct result of the things that community members were telling us in the room. And what we heard as we were meeting with community members is that in Suitland in particular, community members value having color, space, community identity represented in their art. Things that are bold and vibrant and might, in some cases, lean a bit more contemporary or abstract, but that they really wanted to see spaces come to life with creativity and have that evident in their built environment. Other major things that we heard during the charettes were that pedestrian connections were a major priority for community members. They wanted to be able to walk from destination to destination in the community. They wanted to see complete sidewalks and safe, welcoming streets and good lighting. So that's some of the things that you're going to see reflected in these concepts. And then beyond that, intergenerational connection was really emphasized. So our sassy seniors wanted to be able to go to the water tower site and be able to picnic outside and watch children play on the playground, and that's exactly what we did on the site. So hopefully you guys can see some of the things that you suggested reflected in these concepts.
All right, so we're going to walk through some of the concepts that we've been developing, and we're going to talk to you all later about those as well over the boards, but we'll start with the GSA site. So this is the corner of Suitland and Silver Hill Road, and we wanted to look at that entire green space for some improvements, and then we've got some specific things as well that we'll talk about. So when we met with you all, we heard about things that were desired, like seating, maybe an event lawn, some amenities, maybe some elements that could support festivals and things. So we started to look at that, and we looked at a food truck court, a shelter, that event lawn like we discussed, and then also better crosswalks for pedestrian safety. So we developed some concepts for all of those things. So first up, this is a sketch from one of our charettes that we sat down and worked with you all. This is a concept for a signage element and a sculpture and some lighting. And then we looked at the green space itself, so you can see some tables and chairs and some public art elements around the green space. And then also kind of a band shell to help support festivals and small events. So we took all of that, we developed a refined aerial bird's eye of the site, so you could see the green space, you could see the food truck court, and you could see the sign rendering at the bottom here, which we'll go into a little more detail. So this is the concept for the Welcome to Suitland sign. You can see it's got very tall letters. This will be very prominent. It's roughly in the same location as the existing sign, so if you go out there and you check it out, that's generally where the sign would be located. But this has an opportunity for a public art process to develop the base of the sign. So all the colorful graphics that you're seeing there is our concept for a mosaic tile base, but that could be developed by an artist and have a similar kind of flavor. And then at night, we want this to be really active and vibrant as well, so the letters would be lit, and this would be a really bright entrance to the community. So next, we're going to talk about the art walk. So this was another big concept that we had, and this was really based around using art to unite the community, right? So creating a pedestrian pathway that included art and lighting and various other things was really important, and we heard that during our charettes. So this is an existing walkway that people are already taking through the GSA site. You can see by the pathway there. So we thought about improving that and making that a much nicer experience. So this is a diagram showing that. So this art walk would go through the GSA site, through the town center, and then all the way down to the metro station. So here are some sketches from when we were here earlier. So this is the pathway that would be paved. We'd have banners designed by artists and some lighting. Took that a little further to show some new lighting elements and, again, some banners that would be on poles designed by artists, and that could be a really custom program. And then we wanted to think about those crosswalks as well. So a creative crosswalk has more than just white stripes on the pavement. This idea is that there's color, there's maybe a pattern, and it really is a creative way to bring some energy to the street environment, as well as providing a safer environment. So that was the core idea here.
So this wouldn't be a cultural arts implementation strategy without arts in the built environment. So beyond just reinforcing great pedestrian connections and bringing in some branded signage and good lighting and other things, we're also looking for opportunities to bring artists into the community, particularly local artists and artists from around the region, because we know that there's a lot of talent in Prince George's County. And so reinforcing that art walk could be a series of sculptures, mosaics, murals, that type of thing. And so we're showing a couple concepts here. This one is a crown inspired by Prince George's County, and so that could be a gateway feature that kind of welcomes people into the community. We know that artists are going to add their own flavor to things, but this is just kind of the idea of what an art piece might look like in a major intersection. There's also a pylon in the right-of-way near the town center site on the corner of Suitland and Silver Hill Road. And it has seemed to since lost its purpose. And so that was a big conversation in our charrettes. And so we talked about ways in which maybe a family of things might appear on that corner and start to respond to that pylon. Or maybe it's not a pylon anymore, and it's a new gateway feature that's very artistic and creative that welcomes people into the town center. And so we're kind of leaving the door open for something interesting there to be a real gateway feature into that key community center.
So this is a refined rendering of that art walk, and you can see the pathway system here that leads into the food truck court, and then you can see some lights with those banner systems. So we've got a rendering of that on these boards that we can chat with you all here in a bit. And these are the creative crosswalks. So this is a bird's eye rendering showing how that might look. And again, it really energizes the street and infuses some creativity into the roadway system. So next we're going to talk about the town center. And we really wanted to think about how we activate that existing space. So it's already built and there. It needs some electrical infrastructure and some other things, but we wanted to think about how that could become a really vibrant space. So we developed this sketch with you all, which shows some vendor tents, maybe some temporary vendors and shipping containers. Maybe there's some other types of infrastructure out there to support events, but we really want to think through how that became active and vibrant. So we developed these renderings that start to show what a movie night might look like. So there could be a temporary movie screen with a portable projector. We could have some vendor tents out there. So on a nice summer night, you could go out here and hang out and watch a movie. And here's just another rendering of that. So this is a pretty cozy space already, so we're just really building on what's already out there.
And I just want to add something that we heard, not just from community members, but as part of this cultural arts implementation study, we had an additional member of our consulting team do a programming and activation audit of different experience opportunities that were available to community members across the county and then specifically in Suitland. And one of the things that people had identified as a big gap was evening programming that was recurrent, intergenerational, and brought the community together. And so what we're really looking at in a concept like this is a way in which you guys could have like a toolkit or a template to activate something in the evenings and bring some kind of 18-hour-a-day activity to Suitland.
All right, next we're going to talk about the water tower a little bit. So this is already a place where the community can gather, and we really wanted to build on the site that's out there and the water tower itself. Obviously, it has a big presence in the community visually, so it's an opportunity for some other iconic features to be located on that. So when we sat and worked with you all, we looked at programming the site, and what that means is what other types of things could happen out there. So there was an interest in some event space, maybe a community garden, and maybe some active recreation or even a play area. So we could really have a multi-generational experience out here. So we developed that further, and we started to do some sketches, and you could see the community garden and the playground, and then thinking about the interior of the space as well and how that could be, again, activated a bit more for events.
And one thing that we're seeking to do as part of the Water Tower project is the students that are working on the banner design concept for that, because we are working with those high school students, again, to create those concepts alongside an artist, is to have them be able to showcase the work and the process that went into that on the inside of the Water Tower in a student showcase. And so some of the things that we'll look into as we're planning for that installation celebration is what types of things does that space need to act as a community gallery space?
Yeah, so we're looking at the existing site here, and we've looked at how a banner system could be applied to that. So, and I think we have one of the students here today. So thank you for coming. You can.
Would you stand up,
Yes.
please?
So we're really looking forward to see what you come up with here. For this, we did this sketch earlier. We just put kind of a placeholder artwork on here just to show what that could look like. But again, that's the idea where all of these banners, there's 8 sides to the water tower, so there could be 8 different pieces of art that really highlight the water tower itself. So this is a bit of a refined sketch of the water tower site. You can see the community garden on the bottom left, the shelter on the right, and then a play area on the top left. And play equipment can be really fun and unique and customized. So we heard a lot about interest in nature. So our concept for the play area is that the play equipment could be in the shape of a bird or some other element, something really fun. It could have flowers and other features. So play equipment can be really unique and customized for the site. And you can see the banner system there as well.
And one of the reasons why a community garden made its way onto this site is that over the course of the community engagement workshops that we heard a lot of interest in having connection to fresh, healthy food locally, and also being able to have education around local food systems and gardening and those types of things. So we're envisioning that this is a pretty nice community garden with a security fence and irrigation and raised beds and interpretive signage around it that kind of educates people on the types of food that's growing there.
All right, so this is our last slide, and then we'll get to the activity. But just to give you a sense of next steps, so we have a call for artists going out for the water tower project. So the artists will be working with the students to develop the artwork into the banner. So that's something that's happening soon. We're going to take your feedback that we get here today and refine some of these concepts a little bit more. We are doing some cost estimates as well, so we'll be working on those when we get back to our office. And then we're trying to get the plan done roughly by early March, so the complete draft of the plan will be ready to go. And then we're going to support on the artist selection for the water tower call for art. So those are all things that are going to be happening. It sounds like we might be back in April for the final presentation. So stay tuned for that. So with that, we'll start our activity. So basically, we've got boards that you can see here. We're going to ask you to place a dot on the boards, and we'll help you through that. And then there's sticky notes as well, so you can make comments on the ideas. And then we've got some of our previous work here as well. So please come up and talk to us and give us your honest feedback. We love to hear what you all think, and we'll take that and work that into the concept. So thank you.
Please do not be shy about sharing your comments, because again, this is your project, not our project. This is your project. And so we don't want you to be shy. We want you to be able to say, I worked on this, and I'm going to be around to see it grow and continue to grow. So please provide your feedback to us, because I don't want anybody saying at the, oh, I didn't get an opportunity. I don't like this. So I'm asking you to provide your feedback, and this will not be the last time you get an opportunity to talk about this project. Again, you know I'm around, and I'll come wherever you are to be able to provide you with the information you need to be able to say, this is mine. So, Mr. Chairman, do you have any words before they start their process?
Nah, listen, I think you all have said it. This is your project. This is your home. Our job is to try to get it across the finish line. And we are working extremely hard to make that happen. So let's all get involved and let's have some fun today. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.